Hello and welcome back to Newsroom Nigeria. This is where we give you hot, fresh and sizzling news all day long. If this is your first time here, you have not subscribed to this channel, what are you doing? Please go ahead and subscribe, hit the like button. Most importantly, please leave your opinions in the comment section below. A former General Secretary of a pan-Yoruba social political organization, Afenifere, Senator Femi Okoromo, has accused ex-Governor Governor of Jigawa State, Soludo, Sule, and others of trying to impose a Yoruba president of their choice during the June 12, 1993 struggle. Okoromo said the North arrogantly believe that if a Yoruba must be president, it must be a Yoruba of their choice. But President Olusegun Obasanjo was the choice of a Yoruba in 1999, contrary to Lamido's position. He stated that the mission of the Fulani people is to rule Nigeria forever, and when they cannot do this, they place people in power who would rule according to their advantage. Newsroom Nigeria reports that Lamido, in his book titled Being True to Myself, had said the Yoruba saw through our moves and wanted to ask to be given the choice to nominate one of three possible persons: Chiefs Olu, Fala, Bola Ige, and Abraham Adesanya. But none of these could make a fair and effective president in Nigeria. We wanted to find a Yoruba Nigerian president, thus to have a Yoruba man as a Nigerian president, not a president of a Nigerian Yoruba. However, we thought that Obasanjo could effectively function as a Yoruba Nigerian president and not president of a Nigerian Yoruba. The choice of Obasanjo as the PDP candidate for the presidential election was to heal the June 12 wound. Reacting Lamido's claims while speaking to newsmen, Okoromo said, "People who speak the way he is speaking are insulting our intelligence. He is talking the way he did, believing we are fools. It surprises me the way we take them serious when they talk like this, because their intentions have not been hidden right from when we had independence in 1960. The intentions of the Fulani is that they must rule Nigeria forever, and they must be the rulers, and when they cannot be the rulers, they believe they must choose the person who would rule to their advantage. Of course, they have been consistent with that philosophy." The former Afenifere scribe also alleged that there was a conspiracy in 1993 not to allow Abiola emerge as president. He said, during the days of the SDP and NRC days, which preceded the 1993 elections, the NRC was the choice of a northern establishment believed would win. They never expected late MKO Abiola would win. The mere fact that Abiola won was a shocker to them. By Abiola winning the election threatened their hegemony. We, Yoruba, Igbo, Niger Delta, and the Middle Belt have always believed in one Nigeria. Olufala was the choice of the Yoruba people because everyone believes at that time that since they annulled Abiola's elections and many Yoruba people were killed as a result of a struggle, everybody agrees that Yoruba people should be compensated by having a Yoruba become president. The North, as usual, believe that if a Yoruba must become president, it must be a Yoruba whom they would choose, and not a Yoruba whom Nigerians would decide. As I have said, it is either they rule Nigeria or they choose the person that would rule Nigeria to their advantage. Let's have your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this? Let's have them in the comment section, my people. You guys, you know that I've always said this, like, it has now become very evident and apparent that the Fulanis, the Northerners, they believe that it seems like the Aso Rock, that position, that presidential seat, is like a birthright. They feel that they are entitled to it and they must always be the one. Pardon me, guys, I'm not just being an ethnic bigot, but I'm sorry, I just have to state the obvious. And to think of this, they are the least demographic in Nigeria that is least educated. I'm so sorry, but that's just a fact. They are the demographic in Nigeria that is the least educated. And to think that, they have that entitlement mentality, it must be them, The South has just, has not even completed 4 years, 10 already. They wanted to go back to the North, for example. And Buhari just left that seat. Buhari is from the North. Tinubu has not even spent up to 4 years, and they think that it must go back to the North. They feel like the Northerners should take over again. Like, why? When we have other regions in Nigeria that have not even been to Aso Rock before that have not even had a representative, that have not even had a shot at it. Why? Why do you always think that it must be the person from the north that must occupy that position? It's just so worrisome to me. But anyway, let's take a look at a few reactions online. Mr. Jerry says, MKO was a typical Yoruba man. Yes. Temitayo Alausa says, it can never happen again. Nigerians or region that is going to produce president should be allowed to choose the person they trust, and will work for all regions without forgetting where he comes from. And this is another thing I always find an issue with, is the fact that apart from the North always thinking that it's their birthright and as if they have a right, to always have a representative in Aso Rock all of the time, I feel like it's because they know that they have numbers. And what does it say? If you're in business, if you're in marketing, you know that for you to be successful in business, it has a lot to do with numbers, figures. Because the higher people you have access to, the higher sale you are likely to make, and the success of your business, it equals the success of your business. They know that they have the numbers, which is why I'm always saying it, that why are people not voting? Why are people not voting in the southeast, in the southwest, in other parts of the country? Because if we look at it, it's not like the difference. Anyway, we are planning to do census. We know that they have the number, but I think that if other parts of the country, if they also vote, if people get their voters card, if people vote, I think that the difference would not be much. The difference would not be much. They know that they have the numbers, which is why they are always having a say. It's either they are the president or they are the vice, which was why Tinubu went for Muslim ticket, because he knows that he needs them, because they are the ones that would always vote no matter what. Because they know the advantage. We are the ones that do not know the advantage in always, participating in census, in participating in voting. They know the advantage that is there. So they always, I think their leaders also, encourage them to participate in all of these things because they know the advantage as well. It is in Nigeria that it is in south west that you will hear people say, I'm not going to vote, Jerry. I'm not going to vote. You're not going to vote. You don't know that you are indirectly relegating your region. You are indirectly relegating your region as well in you not participating. It has now become a situation where no matter what, even if it is Igbo, I think every electioneering period you must have a northerner as either a presidential candidate or the vice, because they know that they need these people. They need them. They need them no matter what. That is now the situation of things. And if this continues, it means like it would get to a time where they would even become the president and the vice. They would not have any choice than to go with whatever they are saying. Take a look at the stunt they pulled when Tinubu was trying to pass the tax reform bill. They knew right from the onset that bill would not benefit them. The stunts that their representative pulled at the Senate and at the House of Representatives, if it were to be a representative from the southwest or southeast, I do not even see them, strongly opposing any bill, as the northerners strongly oppose the tax reform bill as they did then. They strongly opposed it because it wasn't going to benefit them, not until some adjustments were made recently, and some parts of the bill, if not all, has been passed recently. You all, like I said, let me have your thoughts on your opinions in the comments section below. Thank you very much for always listening and watching, guys. This is where I'm going to draw the curtain for now. I will see you all in my next video. Bye for now.